His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the players as well as the technical and administrative staff of the Bahrain national football team at Rifa Palace to celebrate their victory at the 26th Arabian Gulf Cup. His Royal Highness affirmed that the achievements of the people of Bahrain in various sports are a result of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa's unwavering support for the kingdom's sports sector. His Royal Highness emphasized that Bahrain's success in international and regional championships and forums serves as a significant source of pride. His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad noted that Bahrain is a home to talented individuals who consistently write success stories through their achievements, strengthening the kingdom's standing. His Royal Highness highlighted that every new achievement by Team Bahrain contributes to the kingdom's comprehensive development, which began 25 years ago with the accession of His Majesty the King to the throne. His Royal Highness congratulated the team on their outstanding performance throughout the championship, which culminated in this historic victory. His Royal Highness noted that this achievement serves as a stepping stone for the team towards future successes in Bahraini football. His Royal Highness affirmed the dedicated and commitment of His Majesty the King's representative for humanitarian work in youth affairs, Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and the first Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, to developing Bahrain's sports sector and achieving the kingdom's aspirations. His Royal Highness commended the efforts of the President of the Bahrain Football Association BFA, Sheikh Ali bin Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, as well as all BFA members and members of the national workforce who supported the Bahraini football team in achieving this distinguished accomplishment. His Royal Highness highlighted the unwavering support of the Bahraini fans for the national football team throughout the championship, emphasizing that their encouragement was the greatest incentive for the team's triumph as champions of the 26th Arabian Gulf Cup. His Royal Highness praised Kuwait for its exceptional organization of the 26th Arabian Gulf Cup and praised the efforts of all the teams that competed, wishing them success in future championships. For their part, the players, along with the administrative and technical staff, expressed their appreciation for His Royal Highness's support for the people of Bahrain, which contributed to this historic achievement. They also pledged to achieve further sporting accomplishments that enhance Bahrain's global standing. His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Isa bin Salman Education Charitable Trust and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Tamkeen, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and a number of senior officials also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Ombudswoman and Chairperson of the Prisoners and Detainees Rights Commission, PDRC Ghada Hamid Habib, at Rifah Palace. During the meeting, His Royal Highness was presented with the Prisoners and Detainees Rights Commission Report 2020 to 2023. His Royal Highness affirmed the Kingdom's adoption of societal and humanitarian initiatives and programs which enhance the legal system and consolidate the principles of justice under the visionary leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness expressed his appreciation for the PDRC's efforts to uphold the principles of transparency within the framework of a state founded on institutions and the rules of law. His Royal Highness emphasized the Kingdom's commitment to safeguarding laws and justice through the enactment of legislation and policies in this regard. His Royal Highness noted that the work mechanisms of regulatory bodies contribute to the increasing of performance and the quality of services provided. For her part, Ghada Hamid Habib expressed her gratitude for His Royal Highness's support in strengthening the Kingdom's legal system. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa and the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the outgoing World Health Organization WHO representative in Bahrain, Dr. Tasneem Ghalib Atatra, at Rifah Palace. His Royal Highness affirmed the Kingdom's commitment to advancing the health sector, improving the efficiency of health services and ensuring their sustainability to achieve the Kingdom's comprehensive development goals under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness emphasized the importance of strengthening cooperation with specialized health organizations and institutions to adopt best practices and enhance the efficiency of the national workforce in the medical field. This in turn aims to improve the health of Bahrain citizens and residents while meeting the Kingdom's aspirations. His Royal Highness highlighted the mutual collaboration efforts between the Kingdom and the WHO. His Royal Highness extended his best wishes to Dr. Atatra for success in her future endeavors. During the meeting, the latest international developments in health and topics of mutual interest were discussed. For her part, Dr. Atatra expressed her gratitude for His Royal Highness's commitment to strengthening cooperation between the Kingdom and the WHO to achieve mutual aspirations and wished Bahrain continued progress and prosperity. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa and the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, also attended the meeting. The court of the Crown Prince announced that the Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, will arrive in the Kingdom of Bahrain on Thursday, January 16th for an official visit. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa will meet with Vice President Kamala Harris during her visit to the Kingdom. The Court of the Crown Prince extends its warm welcome to Vice President Kamala Harris and wishes her and the accompanying delegation a pleasant stay in the Kingdom of Bahrain. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, deputized the Commander of the National Guard, General His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Isa Al Khalifa, to attend the conclusion of the Al-Badr 9 joint exercise between the National Guard and the Pakistani Army. This coincides with the National Guard's 28th anniversary celebration, which comes amid Bahrain's celebrations of the Silver Jubilee of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne in the presence of BDF Commander-in-Chief Field Marshal Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, the Minister of Interior General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, and the Commander of Pakistan Army's 12th Corps, Lieutenant General Rahat Naseem Ahmad Khan. Upon His Highness's arrival, accompanied by the National Guard Staff Director, Lieutenant General Sheikh Abdulaziz bin Saud Al Khalifa, he was received by senior National Guard officers, Pakistani Army officers, and senior officers from security services. The head of the Special Operations Unit, Lieutenant Colonel His Highness Sheikh Salman bin Mohammed bin Isa Al Khalifa, delivered a speech expressing congratulations on the occasion, highlighting the march of the National Guard, which is enlightened by the vision of His Majesty the King under the leadership of General His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Isa, which became a protective force to defend the sovereignty of the nation alongside the BDF and public security forces. He said that the National Guard's edifice develops the support and vision of His Majesty and has achieved the highest levels of development, efficiency and readiness in all National Guard units and battalions. He thanked the Pakistani Army for their participation in the exercise and the Royal Bahraini Air Force for their active role in providing air support and implementation of the exercise. The Pakistan Army Battalion commander also gave a briefing on the exercise to exchange experiences between the two sides in combating terrorism. Then the patron of the ceremony witnessed the conclusion of the joint exercise. The event also featured a parachute display by free-fall teams from the National Guard and the Pakistan Army. Later, His Highness General Sheikh Mohammed bin Isa awarded the Medal of Military Merit first and second classes to National Guard officers based on a royal order. He also presented the first place cup in the 3rd National Guard Commander shooting competition to His Highness Lieutenant Colonel Sheikh Salman bin Mohammed. He congratulated His Majesty the King, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Prime Minister, and the National Guard personnel on the occasion. His Highness stressed that His Majesty's continuous support enhanced the readiness and efficiency of the National Guard in performing its national tasks and integrating with the national defense and security systems to achieve security and stability in Bahrain. He expressed pride in the level of modernization of the National Guard thanks to well-established strategic plans that include all command, training, operational and logistical sectors, which enhances its role as a protective force for the achievements of the prosperous era of His Majesty the King. His Highness pointed out that Al-Badr series of counter-terrorism exercises highlights advanced levels of military cooperation with the Pakistani Army within the framework of the cooperation protocol signed between the two sides, with the aim of raising the level of readiness and enhancing integration between the two forces. He praised the great success achieved by the joint exercise and congratulated the participating forces for their outstanding performance and the high level of precision and efficiency. The event concluded with an inspection of the vehicles and equipments used during the exercise. His Majesty the King's Representative for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs and Chairman of Babco Energies, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, received a Chairman of the Board of Directors, CEO of EOG Resources, Isra Yaqub, which specializes in the exploration and production of crude oil and natural gas in the United States. His Highness emphasized that Babco Energies will continue to promote development, innovation and the use of modern technologies to support the development of promising sectors and the need to align the leadership of the energy sector transformation within the global landscape. His Highness explained that the energy sector is witnessing a remarkable transformation. His Highness pointed out that the energy sector is undergoing a remarkable transformation based on achieving energy security and leading a sustainable transformation through initiatives and projects that focus on attracting foreign investments according to an action plan that favors priority sectors in line with the National Energy Strategy and the operational strategy of Babco Energies Groups in cooperation with the relevant authorities. His Highness pointed out that the competition between the economies of the region to attract investments, achieve economic integration, especially in vital priority sectors such as the oil and gas sector, and that work continues in cooperation with global energy leaders to build sustainable partnerships that support the national economy and develop infrastructure and natural resources towards achieving Bahrain's Economic Vision 2030. His Highness was briefed on the latest developments and technologies in the field of energy and discussed global energy challenges and trends in addition to opportunities for cooperation in the field of energy between Bahrain and EOG Resources. The Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Isa bin Salman Education Charitable Trust and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Tamkeen, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, chaired the Trust Board meeting at Rifa Palace. His Highness emphasized that investing in education leads to a stronger and more prosperous future, requiring initiatives that enhance and innovate within the education sector. His Highness noted that such investment ensures that future generations are equipped with the necessary knowledge to make Bahrain even more prosperous. His Highness highlighted the importance of education in driving the kingdom's comprehensive development, which began 25 years ago with His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa's accession to the throne. His Highness also affirmed the support provided by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa in developing the kingdom's education sector, which contributes to achieving sustainable development and advancing the achievements across various fields. During the meeting, a report on the beneficiaries of the Trust scholarships, the executive plan for undergraduate scholarships and the postgraduate studies program for 2025 to 2026 and the Trust annual report for 2024 were discussed. His Highness highlighted the importance of providing quality educational opportunities for the people of Bahrain, emphasizing that they represent the most valuable investment for building a brighter future and driving the kingdom's development. His Highness affirmed the importance of partnership between the public and private sectors and their role in supporting educational initiatives that develop human resources and prepare the national workforce to address future challenges. A joint government parliamentary meeting was held upon the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to brief the Council of Representatives on the latest developments in implementing the government's program. From the Representatives Council side, the meeting was chaired by its Speaker Ahmed Lamsallam and chaired by the Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa from the government side. The government team attending the meeting included the Minister of Finance and National Economy Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs Ghanem Al Buhainin, the Minister of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture Engineer Wa'il Mbarak, the Minister of Works Engineer Ibrahim Al Hawaj, the Minister of Health Dr. Jalila Hassan Jawad, the Minister of Cabinet Affairs Ahmed Al Malki, the Minister of Housing and Urban Planning Amna Rumaihi, the Minister of Social Development Usam Al Alawi, and a number of officials and members of the Council's office. During the meeting, Al-Musallam expressed pride in the effective and constructive cooperation between the executive and legislative branches, which has led to achievements in various domains. He added that this cooperation between government branches aims to fulfill the goals of the comprehensive development process led by His Majesty the King and supported by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He emphasized that the Council's unanimous approval of the government's program for 2023 to 2026 with its 4 priorities and 6 pillars demonstrates a shared commitment to further achieving the desired goals for the benefit of Bahrain and its citizens. Al-Musallam underscored that the program's policies and initiatives reflect an advanced methodology of work and achievements. He also praised the government's focus on directing all plans, projects and programs towards Bahraini citizens, considering them as the core of primary goal of development. The Deputy Premier said that the government's request for this meeting comes to brief the Council on the latest developments in implementing the government's program. He added that this initiative reflects the keenness to establish integration and consultation as principles governing the relationship between the executive and legislative branches based on His Majesty the King's vision. He highlighted that the government has completed 68% of the projects and initiatives in the government's program by the end of the second year of the current legislative term, exceeding the target percentage of the past 2 years by 18%. He explained that the positive performance results achieved promise more growth, progress and prosperity, which are an indicator of Team Bahrain's efficiency, which draws from His Royal Highness's determination and persistence on excellence in government services. He highlighted that the government's initiative to inform the Council about these results embodies the firm belief in the partnership and shared responsibility between the executive and legislative branches, since this partnership was established since the Parliament unanimously approved the government's program in January 2023, followed by the approval of the State Budget Bill for the fiscal years 2023 and 2024 in May of the same year. Then the Minister of the Cabinet Affairs presented a briefing through which he affirmed that monitoring the implementation of the program is done in cooperation with the ministries and government agencies through an advanced electronic system. This was followed by a presentation showing the efforts made over the past 2 years to implement the program's 6 pillars.
Guided by the mandate issued by His Majesty the King in His Majesty's royal speech during the first session of the 6th legislative term of the Shura and Representatives Council, and inspired by the National Action Charter and Bahrain's Constitution, the government program for 2023-2026 was developed. This program aligns with Bahrain's Economic Vision 2030 and encompasses various aspects of the comprehensive development process. From 2023 to December 2024, the government of Bahrain achieved 68% of the program across various domains. The living standards improved, and sectors focused on sustainability and meeting citizens' needs. The sovereign and the legislative sector amended laws to further enhance competitiveness and fairness. Infrastructure and environment initiatives involve the private sector partnerships for environmental protection and resource sustainability. The economic recovery and financial sustainability sector created job opportunities and attracted investments. The government performance and digital transformation saw notable progress in developing high-quality digital services. Finally, the community services sector reflected Bahrain's strategic priorities, focusing on sustainable development, optimal resource utilization, and leveraging individual capabilities to meet future development needs. This comprehensive approach aims to create a better life for citizens and residents, adhering to the principle of sustainability, transparency, justice, and competitiveness.
The Minister of Education, Dr. Mohammed bin Mbarak Jum'a, led Bahrain's delegation at the 14th Conference of Arab Ministers of Education, organized by the Arab League Educational, Cultural and Scientific Organization, ALEXO, held in Qatar under the theme Inclusive Education and Teacher Empowerment, a strategic vision for education in the Arab world. The minister highlighted Bahrain's achievements in inclusive education and support for students with special needs, calling for Arab-wide initiatives to further enhance inclusive education and update curricula to meet global standards. The Bahrain delegation presented successful educational practices and legislation supporting the rights of education for all. The Minister of Education, Dr. Mohammed bin Mbarak Jum'a, met with the Minister of Education of the United Arab Emirates, Sarah bint Yusuf Al Amiri, on the sidelines of his participation in the 14th Arab League Educational, Cultural and Scientific Organization (ALEXO) conference. They discussed the development of coordination and cooperation between the two countries in the educational fields, as well as the exchange of educational experiences and expertise in a number of educational projects. The chairman of the government of the Republic of Sakha-Yakutia, Kirill Baychikov, and the accompanying delegation visited the Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry (BCCI) in the presence of the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Abdullah Fakhro. Baychikov met with BCCI Chairman Samir Nas to discuss enhancing bilateral cooperation and coordination in issues of common interest. They expressed interest in boosting trade exchange to meet the desired ambitions and provide investment opportunities for the business community in both countries. Baychikov affirmed the importance of strengthening bilateral relations to form a strong foundation for developing economic cooperation and fulfilling aspirations in diversifying the economy and supporting sustainable development. He expressed his country's keenness to expand cooperation with Bahrain in various economic and industrial fields. Nas emphasized the importance of strengthening relations with Yakutia and Bahrain's aspirations to develop them, especially in the economic and investment fields, to serve common interests. The Ministry of Youth Affairs, in cooperation with the U.S. Embassy in Bahrain, organized the closing ceremony of the project's documentaries program in the presence of the Minister of Youth Affairs, Rawan Tawfiqi, and the U.S. Ambassador to Bahrain, Stephen Bondi. The minister emphasized the importance of youth interest in documentary filmmaking, as well as effective tool to develop their talent and creative abilities to seek to empower them and enhance their role in building society. The ceremony began with the screening of a number of documentary films produced by youth participating in the program, after which Tawfiqi and the U.S. Ambassador honored the participating films. Tawfiqi expressed pride in the professionalism and passion showed by the youth in shedding light on various documentary topics. She praised the positive cooperation between the ministry and the U.S. Embassy in organizing the program, which aims to enhance the capabilities of youth in documentary filmmaking and providing them with the necessary knowledge and expertise in this field.
Today we are at the closing ceremony of Project Documentaries. We've reached the third version of this project and this program. We're very happy to work with the American Embassy in Bahrain. We saw a lot of great potential in our Bahraini youth. We saw them airing their documentaries in Denmark, in Russia, and Cannes. So I think I always say that Bahraini youth are gems and are made of gold, and I see a lot of potential from them. I think you have just to witness their excitement about this, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
This project has really been a joint venture between the United States Embassy and the Ministry of Youth Affairs. This is the third time actually that we're doing this, and each time we see the most impressive work from young Bahraini filmmakers. We had two excellent expert mentors who worked with the young filmmakers. One was Todd Thompson, who came from the United States, and the other has been a fixture, Mohammed John Al-Balushi, Bahraini, who is a real expert filmmaker. And they guide these young people into producing these documentaries?
We are working on a project documentaries. This is the third version of project documentaries. Projects, a workshop, a combine of everything from the Ministry of Youth and U.S. Embassy Bahrain. We started to collect talent people in Bahrain and train them how to make documentary films under pressure in duration of a few months. So they will go out and they shoot, and then they made and they produce short films. Each it's 3 teams. Each team will produce documentary films. Yeah, that's how it's started in the first version, and then it was second version. Now it's the third version.
The Minister of Social Development, Osama Al-Alawi, visited the Friendship Society for the Blind to review the activities and services provided to the society's beneficiaries. Al-Alawi emphasized the ministry's commitment to further support associations that offer exceptional humanitarian and social services. He highlighted the importance of the collaboration between the ministry and civil societies to integrate visually impaired individuals into society and commended the efforts of the society's team. The minister toured the educational and rehabilitation sections aimed at further enhancing the skills of visually impaired individuals and enabling their independence. He was briefed on specialized programs focusing on developing professional and educational abilities, including the use of modern technology to facilitate their daily lives. The president of the Friendship Society for the Blind expressed gratitude to the minister for his visit, noting that such engagement promotes community awareness about the visually impaired and their needs. The President of Ghana, John Mahama, received the Deputy National Security Advisor and Deputy Secretary General of the Supreme Defense Council, Sheikh Khalid bin Ali bin Jaber Al Khalifa, and the Director General of the Prime Minister's Office, Hamad Al Mahmid. Sheikh Khalid bin Ali and Al Mahmid conveyed the congratulations of His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to Mahama on his inauguration and wished him success and further progress and development for the people of Ghana. Mahama conveyed his greetings and wishes to His Majesty and His Royal Highness and to the people of Bahrain for further progress and prosperity. During the meeting, the two sides emphasized the importance of continuing to strengthen bilateral relations in various fields to increase cooperation and coordination for the benefit of the two countries and their friendly people. Earlier, Sheikh Khalid bin Ali and Al Mahmid had participated in the inauguration ceremony of the President of Ghana. The Chief Executive Officer of Tamkeen, Maha Mufiz, affirmed Tamkeen's continuous keenness to translate the national visions and aspirations stipulated by the directives of His Majesty the King, with the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and under the supervision of the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Isa bin Salman Educational Charitable Trust and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Tamkeen, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. Mufiz praised His Majesty the King's issuance of Law 14 of 2024 that contributes to increasing the employment of citizens by limiting the support of Tamkeen to companies and institutions in which Bahrainis own a percentage of shares or quota, in addition to providing support to Bahrainis to increase their efficiency, productivity and competitiveness in the labor market. She pointed out that achieving the desired results comes in partnership with Bahraini private sector organizations that seek to achieve growth and development. The Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority concluded the Manama Retro Festival, which was held in the old neighborhoods of Manama Souk. The festival, which witnessed a large turnout, took its visitors back to the 60s through the 90s through several events, most notably cafes and old games, in addition to theater and music performances. Manama Retro was able to provide an unforgettable experience through creative and innovative details.